This is the Reporter's Notebook, hosted by Elaine Shane.
Welcome to this entry in the DTN Reporter's Notebook. I'm Elaine Shane. We're joined today by the Progressive Farmer Senior Editor, Vicki Myers, as we look at the cattle outlook. Vicki, first of all, what is the cattle industry expecting the market to be like for this year?
First of all, I'd say there's a lot of optimism among cow-calf producers and stockers as we move into the spring months. Expansion's continuing, and depending on the analyst, they say that will be the case into 2019 and maybe even into 2020. There's some minor difference of opinion as to whether this is going to be a break-even year or a year where we'll end up with feeders as much as 10% off of last year's averages.
So where do beef operators see their best opportunities?
I'm finding an increasing number of producers who are looking for kind of a unique niche in the cattle market. In our May cover story, we talked to a Louisiana cow-calf producer, David King, who's selling his beef directly to consumers in his state. It's a business he's been building for 19 years, and he looks at everything from the genetic balance for his area to the quality that consumers want. It's that type of thing that producers of all sizes are looking to find a way to realize a premium over what they would see just taking their calves to the sale barn. Some producers also feel that selling into the natural market is advantageous, although that varies by operation and cost. On the whole, I really think there are some opportunities in this market, but you have to be innovative and you have to be thinking and planning ahead.
So what are some of the farmers telling you that they're going to do to adapt?
We spoke to cow-calf producers and stockers, and what they're really doing is looking at their bottom line. The revenue end of this will be the same for everyone pretty much at the end of the day, but it's key that you know your cost and then you work within your margins. That's going to be the difference between the producer who has a break-even line this year and one who squeezes out a few cents extra profit. Cost management, Daryl Peel says, and he puts it better than I do, he says that it remains a producer's number one priority this year. And at the end of the day, producers won't control much on the revenue side, but they will control their resources and how they best use them.
Now, something that they might not feel very much control is ag policy, or trade policy, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What are some of the uncertainty around that? How's that affecting the farmers?
Well, that's absolutely the biggest issue in the cattle industry right now, I think. The administration isn't giving the markets very reassuring signals right now with regards to NAFTA or KORUS, as well as any bilateral agreements. China's going to continue to be something the industry focuses on, but it's more of a long-term situation, and it's really going to take a leap of faith within the U.S. cattle industry. Right now, Trevor Amon at CoBank tells me that it costs between $200 and $250 a head to produce cattle that will fit China's trade parameters. And he says it's simply going to take time for our market to mature enough so that the economic signals reach our producers and they feel that those are things that they want to do. And I'm specifically referring to traceability and the use of types of growth promotants.
Where does domestic demand play into this for next year?
Well, like exports, this is really key. Exports hit a record in 2017, and domestic demand for beef continues to be the glue that's sort of holding all the supply together. Rabobank's Don Close told me they're projecting per capita consumption for all protein, that's not just beef, to increase 1.3%. Now, specific to beef, he says demand's going to continue to grow, but he also emphasizes that what consumers want, which he believes is more information about the product that they're buying, traceability, that's going to continue to be a driver in this market. And he also mentioned that U.S. beef's high quality, having so much prime and choice, which is about 80%, is my understanding, is key. And that makes us a dominant player both on the world stage and domestically.
Thanks, Vicki.
Thanks, Elaine.
With Vicki Myers, I'm Elaine Shane, and that's today's entry in the DTN Reporter's Notebook. Thanks for joining us, and have a good evening from DTN.
This has been the Reporter's Notebook from the DTN Progressive Farmer Newsroom.